Welcome to Swag. My name is Ethan, and today I'm presenting to you the second episode of our Introduction to Ancient Roman Coins series. Make sure you check out the first video on Constantine I for more information on how we got to this point. Today's ancient leader of Rome is one of Constantine I's sons, Constantius the Second. Named for Constantine's father, his reign was largely spent fighting the Persians and Roman usurpers, though his reign still had a sizable impact on the empire. By the time he had turned 19, he had already begun his first military campaign against the Sassanid Empire, defending territory in Roman Mesopotamia rather unsuccessfully, though enough that the Persian forces only claimed Amida before Roman forces won a decisive victory at the Battle of Narsara, killing the Persian general Narses, forcing them to retreat. Soon after this victory, Constantius would return to Constantinople following the news of his father's imminent death, where Constantius would host the funeral for the late emperor. Promptly after the funeral, tragedy would strike the family yet again, though the event is debated on its true status as an unintentional tragedy, with some educators and historians from the time, as well as his cousin Julian, claiming the event may have been caused directly by Constantius himself. The official story, however, is that the soldiers stationed in Constantinople committed a mutiny against a majority of the family. 7 of Constantius's cousins and 2 of his uncles were slain by the soldiers, leaving only Constantius the Second, his brothers Constantine the Second and Constans, and his cousins Gallus, Julian, and Nepothianus, the only male relatives of Constantine I alive. The fates of the women in the family are largely unclear in regards to this event, as much of it is covered up, with evidence and history being destroyed due to the damnatio memoriae placed on the members of the family that were slain. After the gruesome event at Constantinople, the brothers, Constantius II, Constantine II, and Constans, would go on to split the empire between them, with Constantius taking Thrace, Asia Minor, Syria, Cyrenaica, and Egypt as the emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire. Shortly following the divvying up of the empire between the brothers, Constantius would return to the front in Mesopotamia fighting the Persians, defending the region successfully upon his arrival. While Constantius was fighting in the east, his brothers fought amongst each other for control of the central and western Roman provinces, culminating in the death of Constantine II and Constans taking control over 2/3 of the full empire, until 350 when he was assassinated by forces loyal to Magnentius, the usurper. Hearing of his brother's assassination, Constantius elevated his cousin Constantius Gallus to Caesar of the East to provide an imperial presence in the region and dissuade further campaigns by Persia before leaving to confront the forces of Magnentius, now claimed as the Western Emperor by the Western Roman provinces. Their first confrontation occurred in 351, an extremely costly battle for both sides, however ultimately a victory for Constantius. After Magnentius retreated to northern Italy, Constantius turned his attention to the Danube River and the nomadic Narmatian peoples that threatened the border. Taking the first few months of 352 to secure the border, Constantius turned his attention back to Magnentius. Marching on Italy, the cities quickly turned their loyalties to Constantius and ejected the garrisons of Magnentius. The usurper fled Italy, heading into southern Gaul, where the final confrontation between Constantius and Magnentius occurred in 353 and was won by Constantius. Realizing the futility of his position, Magnentius committed suicide later that year, leaving Constantius as the sole emperor of the Roman Empire. The end of Constantius's reign saw even more fighting, both within the empire and from foreign forces. Constantius fought off Sarmatian and Quadi forces, leading a counterattack across the Danube. By 360, Persia declared war on Rome again, taking or destroying 4 cities in Mesopotamia. Constantius, facing a newly replenished Persian army, requested military aid from his cousin Julian, who was then declared emperor by the Gallic forces under his command, and declined Constantius's request for aid. Following this event, Constantius's forces were weakened, and made little progress taking back the Mesopotamic territory that the Persians had taken. In mid-361, he would withdraw to Antioch to regroup for further defensive fighting, but the Persians, themselves weakened, would not pursue. This gave Constantius an opportunity to deal with Julian more directly, though he would never make it to the battlefield, declaring Julian his rightful successor before passing away in late 361 to an illness. Thanks for watching. Come visit us at the Swag Shop in Beeville today to add to or start your own ancient coin collection. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.